So here's my old planter. It's been through a lot of good times. We bought him out of the weeds cheap in southern Minnesota 10 years ago. Rebuilt the row units one good time and then several nickel and dime times since over the years. Converted over to that precision V-set meters on little John Deere 1 bushel boxes. Put on the liquid system. For what we had into it, it was a fantastic little planter. It put a lot of crop in and it did it very well. Converted it over. I had a Rawson drive kit on there, and so the transmission and all that stuff is non-existent anymore. It never needed to be there. It was just time. We're having way too many breakdowns. It's a good project planter. I'm going to still rob like the row cleaners and some of the other stuff off and a few little plumbing fixtures. The markers were beat to heck. You know, that's what they looked like when we got it. And we just kind of patched them to keep it going. You always had plans one day of not wanting to fix it up and stick a ton of money into it. Because you always knew someday you'd replace it, but at the same time it was working fine. We did the update, you know, through Shoop Catalog. I did the updated closing wheel kits and the updated gauge wheels and all that stuff. I can't complain. I can't throw it under the bus. Put on some Kinsey down pressure springs to just help the row unit not bounce around so much. In our soft soil, it wasn't so much of penetration. It was just to keep it for a consistent depth and to keep it from just bouncing. Without the down pressure spring, you'd look back and the row units would just be kind of doing that, you know, several inches over every little knob of soil. And so we finally got to a point where we could upgrade. My wife, last year we went out so she could start to learn how to do all the planting and stuff like that, so I could do strip till. So with the 2 tractors we could move through crops a little quicker. Every time we went to the field, walk past my little poor man's grain train. Every time we went to the field, we make a couple rounds, and basically all she learned how to do was drive back and forth from the field to the yard. So it got frustrating. It was just kind of the final straw. And so we called 3 John Deere dealerships to try and get a new planter. Couldn't even get through them. Try. So we bought a new white. I am a John Deere person. I read John Deere tech manuals as a kid for story time. I went to John Deere College. My dad was a John Deere service tech for a lot of years and had his own on-farm John Deere repair shop for 20-some years. And we have a white planter. It is very odd, a weird feeling, but I called 2 white dealers at the same time I called the John Deere dealers, and they were back instantly with questions and prices and whatnot. And the John Deere people, I couldn't even get a hold of a couple of them. The ones I did get a hold of never did give a call back, and so they're lost, I guess. Apparently my money's not good enough for the new generation of John Deere. But no, I'm really excited for this. Never even looked at a white, never even thought about a white. I really like their new row unit. They since we are on a no-till, minimum till environment. After we bought the planter, I actually looked at one. They go to the larger opener discs than what we're used to, just to help do a better job of opening that cut. The staggered closing wheels are supposedly better for the minimum till, no-till situations. And it is adjustable. I can put them straight across if need be. It's got the walking gauge wheels, so if one wheel hits a bump, it kind of moves up and down, and the row unit will only move half that distance. And I really like the bolt there for a quick adjust. So come springtime, I'm going to have 32 million videos of this planter this year. Come springtime, you can put a 2x4 under the wheels, and then you can adjust this bolt so from row to row, when you set it to 1.5 inches, you know that every row is exactly 1.5 inches and that they're the same from row to row. And after we got the planter and really started looking at it, we saw a lot of features and benefits that we really like. For one, we're on 12 row, and it's just this little tiny blower. My old 4020 has enough hydraulics to run this 12 row planter. You go to a 12 row Deere case, you'd have a tremendously larger vacuum motor to pull 20 pounds of vacuum versus moving 2 pounds of air. It's a tremendous amount of difference in air. And it's a simple planter. There's no control box in the cab for it. You just have a simple switch here to go from markers and fold, and then a transport lock up there, which I'm told that I don't even need for our short road trips here. I don't even need to be putting that back in. So when I get to the field, it is literally flip a couple safety latches up there for the wing fold. Just flip these up, flip my lever for fold, open the planter up, and then jump back out to flip that down for markers. And so I'll have 2 outlets for lift raise, one for lift raise, one for markers, and then my hydraulic drive and blower will be on Power Beyond. I already started tinkering the other day. I took a few minutes, and so here's what we're doing. This is the Rawson drive that come off the other planter. Absolutely love it. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It really makes it so simple. You pull into the field, you just tell the monitor, I want 32,000, and it plants 32,000. You just do a simple calibration each spring to verify the seed count correct. The half width disconnect, so the left 6 rows can be turned on or off, and the right 6 rows can be turned on and off at any time. I get a little module to control these to the Ag Leader Integra. So then in the cab, the Integra can do everything. I can manually turn them on or off, or my swath control will be able to turn these on or off. This planter actually came with pneumatic downforce, which is the little airbags there. And so it'll be nice to just put 15 or 20 pounds in them, and whatever the conditions call for, just to smooth the ride. And we're super excited because not only going from 8 rows to 12 rows, you gain 50% there, but we went from 1 bushel to 3 bushel boxes. We went from 4 little 7-inch tires to 6 9-inch wide tires. So we gained a ton of flotation out in the field. I wanted a nice, light, simple planter. We gained 100 gallons of liquid capacity. For soybeans, because we use the same planter for soybeans, and so instead of carrying 8 bushels of seed, you're now carrying 36 bushels of seed. So that really adds up at the end of the day, because soybeans, it felt like we were always refilling. We do run liquid insecticide in furrow now on soybeans, and so I'll have to plumb. The System AGCO is a little proud of what they wanted for their plumbing kit, and so we can do it tremendously cheaper, and I'd like to keep that system very simple as well. The only thing I really need to do as well is they've got the ISO bus monitor harness on here, and so for their seed sense, and so I just got to swap that out for an old standard Dickie John 12 row 30 from Schuper Ag Express or somebody, and then that will, everything I had on my old Deere planter, I'll just simply bring over to this planter, and it's already proven and true system. But I guess I was kind of surprised at some of the benefits of the white. So this is just a little storage disc, but that's what your seed disc will be too. It's just a little clear plastic plate that sits there, and so you can see, we'll be able to see these turning. So when I put this for calibration, I can have it turning in the yard while it's sitting still, and I will be able to come back and see the seeds spin around. Here's the transmission that comes with the planter. It's kind of like your 10-speed bike. You got high and low range out here for different applications, and then you just follow the book to find your combination of what you want for population. And I think that looks a whole lot better than that, and it's so much easier. We do population studies and things like that, and it is just so much easier to pull in the field and say 29,000, 32,000, whatever you want, instead of pulling the field, look in the book, and be like, crap, where's my nearest population that I want and all that stuff. And I never have to worry about mud. You got mud scrapers, but you never have to worry about this wheel riding against that drive wheel and ended up with slippage or anything like that to throw your population off. And then if one side slips versus the other kind of deal, where now with I got to get another Rawson motor and do the same to this side. But no, I'm really super excited. It's a beautiful machine. Just really stoked. It's kind of nice to actually move somewhere in this tough economy, and you only get one chance to put the seed in the ground, and so you can duct tape a tractor up and band-aid a tractor or borrow a tractor, but you can't nickel and dime or duct tape or borrow a planter. There's too much riding on every kernel to just be hoping and guessing what's going on. And so, yeah, my dad is pretty excited, and the wife is excited, and I think, yeah, so we're there. I'm just impatient at this point to actually get it running, but we'll see in a couple months.